Oh, I would love to have a break.
Yes, because we arrange some refreshments and you can have some refreshments.
Yes, please come. And then I want to explain something concrete that you can do. How do you start on this? Okay? And I want you to know that when you call me or when you send me, I have a WhatsApp. Regardless of where I'm in the world, WhatsApp is free. And if you call me, they will give you can call me, you can write to me emails or send me WhatsApp messages. That doesn't cost you. And I promise to answer. All you have to do is to say that you had come to this lecture in Bangalore. Then I know more or less who it is because I'm being Persian. And I promise it doesn't cost you anything from my side. I never send a bill to somebody saying, hey, you took an hour of my time and these are my fees. No. No, you have other things to pay. Take advantage of me physically when I'm there to meet with me if you need to. Okay, we have created a project called Pragati. We'll explain after we finish. And then I want you to use me. Don't feel embarrassed. And I'm very, very discreet. I will not talk to your parents. I will not talk to your partners. I will not talk to your doctors unless you ask me to. And I will even help you kill your mother-in-law.
Just a 10-minute break. We have
Interesting things there. That also shows that I'm not always serious. And during my seminars and lectures in Italy and Germany, abroad, I also like to tell jokes. And just to talk about spirituality and religion and priests and so on. There is this little boy standing on the footpath, and he's just a small boy, 4 or 5 years old, and the mother is shopping in a boutique, and he's waiting outside. And this priest comes walking down the footpath and stops in front of this little boy. He's a Catholic priest, Christian priest. And he says, son, do you know where the church is? So the little boy says, yes, Father, it's very simple. You go down the street and up to the corner and turn right and you will see the church right there. So the priest says to this little boy, you know, I'm the new priest for this town, and so that's why I don't know where the church is. And on Sunday I'll be giving a mass. So you come to the mass for the prayers, and I will show you the way to God, where God lives. So this little boy looks up at him and says, you must be kidding. You're joking. You're trying to fool me. He said, what? He said, if you don't even know what the church is, how are you going to show me where God lives? So, you see, children have a fantastic mind, and they don't take it for granted what you tell them. And I want you to use this fantastic mind of children, the right brain hemisphere. Oh my God. Can you read that? That's written in Tamil. This is pnimadu@gmail.com, and this is Pragati Live, our website. Remember, your success, your life happiness, to me personally, is more important and more satisfying than what you can give me. If you bring results, I tell you, it will be a better world. Even if one of you succeeds, for me it's a better world. I never go to protests. I never go and say they have to change the climate, they have to do this, they have to do that. No. What I can't change should not bother me. So don't try to change the world. If you change yourself and you are the center of your universe, your world, already you are making a contribution to world change. So I don't go protesting for climate and environment, but I never throw a piece of paper on the road or garbage or whatever. I don't smoke, but I know people who smoke, they throw their butts on the street. No. Each person, if we are responsible, that's enough. So don't try to save the world and don't live according to what the others want. It is truly a crime that we always want others to be like us. And we depend on what others want from us. I don't depend on Ganesha, Shiva, or you, or anybody. I depend on me, because Ganesha, Shiva, and you are in me. And through my action, I realize things. So don't worry about what others say. Do what you want. Now, in order to realize this particular, what we call programming, the process of manifestation, when something becomes true, not only objectively but also emotionally or economically and so on, what is important? Like for him, it was not important that he says, I want to do something. It is not important for you to say, I want to travel. Because travel, you might just get out of the house and turn in circles around your block and you're traveling. Travel, much more precise is if you say, no, I want to go to Agra to see the Taj Mahal. Now that's something very concrete. So in your project of self-realization, there are procedures, there are steps. Like when you build this house, they don't build the roof first. Okay? There are steps, process. And in your self-realization, there is a process, a procedure that you have to follow. And if you don't do that, then you will never succeed, not even in 1,000 years. And if you do succeed, it will be with a lot of pain and a lot of suffering, and that's not worth it. Your success comes out of joy, and it should happen very smoothly and progressively. So how do you start? Step number one, and this you have to remember, if you don't write it down, it doesn't matter, but remember, you have to know precisely what you want. Okay? So if you say, I want to be happy, that's not precise enough. You have to know what happiness is and what you want to feel. And you have to develop this feeling. For you, if happiness is being married and having a family, then say, I want a family. I want to get married to the right man. I would like to have children. And that is happiness for you guys. But I'm giving a lecture on happiness, seminar, and there I'm explaining that we seek happiness in things and in achievements. No. Happiness must come from the soul, and through that happiness, your husband will come, your children will come, your richness will come, and so on. So you have to have a very precise objective from the beginning. You should be able to, how to know that it is precise what you want. You have to have a picture. You have to have an image. And happiness has to be given an image. So you give the image of a family, if that is what happiness for you is. Or happiness for you is driving a Ferrari, which is an Italian sports car. Then you visualize a Ferrari, but you know what it means for you. Success for you, or happiness for you is a Ferrari. But it has to be something concrete. So give a picture to it, and if it doesn't have a picture like happiness, I said, what brings for you happiness would be the happiness. Then there is a picture. Or you create a richness. You say, I want to be rich. Richness does not have, wealth does not have a picture. But you say, okay, for me, wealth is that I have a villa with a swimming pool and a Rolls Royce standing in front. Okay, you have given a symbolic picture to your economic success. Okay? And then you will see. The second step to it, first is to decide exactly what it is, and in order to know that it is correct, it has to have a picture, so then you visualize that, you say, okay, I know there's a picture. That is the second. Third is then doing the visualization process. But before you do the visualization process, it is important that you also try and experience the joy or the emotion of what it means to have met the right husband or the right partner, or having bought the right house. Feel the joy. Our mind has incredible capacity, our brain. And you can truly create this joy through your brain process, through your thought process. And feel that, and then the next step, very important, is that you create a story or a metaphor. Like I said, for this young boy who was afraid to drive, that he shows his parents the driving license and they're happy and they congratulate him. These are stories. Or for this old man and his wife to embrace Jesus Christ. Or you can create a mythology or a metaphor for what you want, but you have to do that. It's like a child's play, they do it, children do that. They're playing, they imagine all sorts of things. They see things that are not even there when they're playing. The imagination is so strong. So use your creative imagination, and it is very important, do it. I'm a man of science, this has nothing to do with spirituality. Yes, we are talking about occult energies, but these energies then become reality. That's why you are there. Your parents had a dream, they wanted to meet somebody. They didn't just wake up one day and mommy had given birth to you. No. They started with this aspiration, young, that one day I want to get married. I want to have a family. And then it happens. So everything has happened, what you wanted or your parents wanted. I want you to do it. And if necessary, call me, come to me. I will not take a cent from you. I want you to be first successful. What I want is that you bring the results. So for me, it's like when you go to the market, you buy a kilo of mangoes, you pay for that kilo, and you take those mangoes home. You don't leave them there and pay them and go empty-handed home. When you come to me, I don't care whether you pay or not, I want you to bring that success. Even if you're paid, I say, I will kill you if you don't bring your success. And it's a way of threatening, but it's a loving way of threatening, saying, do it, or I will kill you. It's for your success. So, and you won't be killed because you'll have success. What is the next, after that, what you have to do? Most people, they keep repeating this prayer they think it's a prayer to the divine. No, you have created the energy of manifestation because you have now visualized something and that thing is born, what you wanted. That's why be very careful. Because even if you make the wrong decision and decide that you want something wrong, then you'll be in trouble. I will give you a very funny explanation and you can judge me whichever way you want, my morality. I was a young student at the university and I come one day home. I lived on Marlborough Avenue, which is a broad avenue in Boston. And I parked my car on one side of the road. It's a broad road, residential road. And the houses are old Boston-style houses. That first there's a road, then there's a footpath, and then there's a small patch of garden or land, and then there are stairs that come onto the house entrance. Okay. I arrive and I see this absolutely beautiful young girl crossing the street and going into that house. And what happened? I made a wish. I said, oh, she's so beautiful, I'd like to get to know her. No, just like that, spontaneously. See, there was lack of self-consciousness. I was not aware, and I'm trying to teach you awareness. Now, in my lack of awareness, I would love to get to know her. What happens? Next day I come with a car, I park the car, I'm taking my books out, and she's sitting on those doorsteps in front of her house. The steps that lead to the doorway, to this building where she lives. She's beautiful, and she's looking at me and smiling, and I look at her and she smiles, and I said, oh Lord, what a magic. Look, she's smiling. And she says, come, I want to know you. Just makes a sign. And it's a very broad street. So I crossed the street, but when I reached the footpath, I realized that it was not a girl, it was a transvestite. A boy dressed like a girl. You know. And I stopped right there. And she started laughing because she knew that I thought she's a girl. So she started laughing. And see, I created my own disaster by wishing. I would like to know her. but I don't want to know what she's on. And otherwise also, I said, look, these are things that I want you to be very careful about, because they come. So your fears, if you think of something negative, they too are energies. As I said, God doesn't judge, or this creation does not judge what is good or bad. You create an energy, so you can create a fire to heat the house, but you can also create a fire to destroy the house. Okay? So you have to be very careful of what you are thinking in also negative terms. So your fears, get rid of them. Come to me in one session, I can eliminate your fear, like I did for this boy for driving. Basically, just one session of visualization and he lost his fear because we programmed it in his right hemisphere that he's not afraid anymore. He has succeeded. Now what you have succeeded does not give fear. Talking of success and fear, it is very important that you people do not judge your life on your present situation. This world situation of pandemic has done a lot of disaster, especially economically. So this is just a passage. And don't start saying, my God, is this going to continue? Am I going to lose everything? No. That's a negative thought. Don't think that you're going to lose. Just say. And once you have clearly defined what you want and visualize it, basta. Don't keep asking, I want to do it, I want to do it, I have to do it. No, that's wrong. Many people say you should use it like mantra, I'm going to succeed, I'm going to succeed. No. I need to know only once what I want, and then it's done. And everything is fine. And I work that way too. Ask Vishal. And then, don't worry, it'll take place, everything is fine. Do it the way you have said it, and I don't mind. Because I know it's going to work, because I have decided that it'll work, everything that he has planned. So, once you have visualized it, I want you to keep that in your inner self. Because you will see that it will grow, the feeling that you have power over yourself. And what is interesting, your doubts disappear once something is done. For instance, your doubt that you might never get married, or you might not meet the right person, disappear the moment you meet the right person, you get married. Or you're afraid of an exam. Once the exam is passed, you're not afraid anymore. In other words, our hesitation and our fears come when we do not know the results. But how can we know the results of the next elections or the next day or the next year, their word? No, but you have created an image for tomorrow. So that is in your right brain hemisphere, and it diminishes this fear and this doubt that it might not happen. So what you know never can scare you. Once you've achieved something, you are not nervous or worried about it. Once you've passed an exam, you can't be afraid of that exam. You ask a child to go into a dark room, and the child is afraid because it's small, it's dark, doesn't see what's inside. The child thinks, oh, there might be a tiger, there might be a wolf. Then you switch on the light, and the child sees there are toys, and the fear is gone. The child rushes in, starts playing with the toys, and there is no fear. Because the child knows that there is no wolf, and there is no lion, no tiger. So what you know takes away from you the worry and the stress. So if he knows as a businessman, or he as a school director, what he wants, it's in his right brain hemisphere, it is already a fact in his right brain hemisphere. And since there is no logic there, it doesn't say, but it's only going to go when the government changes the law. No. He knows it's going to happen. It's happening. And feel this with every breath that what you want is happening because you have already planted the seed of manifestation. And you will, like all my other patients and students and clients, will realize if you really know what you want, and if you tell me, and I'm very discreet, then I'll be there to say, hey, didn't I tell you so? I still, before I came, I think about 5 or 6 weeks ago, my secretary called me from Turin, Italy, in Germany, and says, Dr. Patel, one lady, Mrs. So-and-so in Messina in Sicily, it's an island, Sicily. In Messina, Sicily, has written to me asking for the institutes, our center's bank information, the account number and all that. Because she wants to make a donation. I said, what? She wants to make a donation, who is she? She tells me the name, everything. And then I call the lady and she says, yes, Dr. Patel. We met 10 years ago in Messina when you had given a seminar. And my husband and I, our family, are truly so happy and so successful. It's been 10 years of bliss and everything is going so fine. And now our economic situation is so fantastic that we want to make a donation. And it was a hefty donation that they made. Just imagine, after 10 years, she says to me, yes, everything you said has come true, because we did what you told us, and here it is. But these are just one case. So I want you, please, in the short time that you've been here, remember, define what you want precisely. It doesn't matter what society says. Even if for others it is something immoral. I don't care. If you decide that you want 3 husbands, that's your business. And you decide you want to be a billionaire, it's your right. By the way, money is a divine energy of Lakshmi. Without money, nothing. All of us will be still living in caves. But we are dressed, and everything apart from nature can only grow with the energy of Lakshmi. Okay, so don't be shy to become rich and to make a lot of money, because poverty creates suffering. And if you are wealthy, you can use that wealth for you, your family, and for mankind. And use it. Buy yourself Ferraris, buy yourself beautiful silk saris and everything. Really, life was not meant for sacrifice. Life was meant, as Dalai Lama says, the one and only reason of being on this earth is to be happy. And if eating mangoes every day makes you happy, eat mangoes every day. I thought papaya I have not eaten for so long will make me happy, and I saw a wonderful papaya in Pondicherry this time. So I even went and bought a knife, because in my guest house where I was living, there was no knife. I had only a room, it's an ashram guest house. So I went and bought a plate, a karandi spoon, and a knife, and I bought this fantastic papaya. And I cut it, and I ate the whole papaya. It was so delicious, with the result that the next day or that night I had diarrhea because it was too much. Papaya has this effect of irritating. So I said, see, I don't like to fight temptation because I don't like violence. And since I hate violence, I don't fight temptation. I bought my papaya and ate it. And I paid for it. But I enjoyed it. So what I'm trying to tell you, create your dream very concretely and live it and feel it in every cell of your body. Don't have doubt. Have doubt on God if you want. He doesn't care. But don't doubt on yourself, because God is in you. So if you have doubt with yourself, you can't trust God. You're not believing in God. If you believe in God, believe in yourself. And do this. See how you feel when you see Ganesha and say, hey, I love you just because you're Ganesha. I like you. I like your funny head with a elephant head and a human body. And he's so jovial. And he's so healthy. He likes papaya. He's fat. He likes Italy like me. So, before we close down, before I go any further, are there any questions? Because I might have missed out on a lot of things. But ask me questions without hesitation.
Can we put a time to it, or there is
No, don't make the mistake of saying from where the solution will come, how the solution will come, when it will come. No, you have manifested the energy, you have started the manifestation of your dream, it will manifest. It is an occult power. I'm known as an occultist. Don't be afraid, I don't do black magic. But many people have witnessed that, and also the mother had told me, my mother, that I was born with certain capacities. And Everything that's not molecular is energy. Your love, your thoughts, your prayers are energies. Okay? Wind is an energy, you can't see it. And it is more powerful than muscles and bones and material. So, if you use this energy of visualization, of creating your dream, what you want, it is such a strong energy. Don't ask when it will take place, how it will take place. You saw with this girl. I saw one the day before, and I said, oh, she's so beautiful. I get to know. I didn't even create a visualization. By me, things happen like that. And that's very dangerous because once you learn this technique, you will see that for everything you use it, even for small things, and everything comes out fine. Your relationship with people. I travel worldwide and I have no problem anywhere. Before I leave Pondicherry, Vishal calls me, I was in the taxi, and he warns me that because of the election, the police have checkpoints to check if we are carrying money to bribe voters. So they said, they will ask you, they will stop you in money. I said, okay, no problem, I have nothing to hide. I know how much money I have in my pocket and all that. And sure enough, I was lying back in my car, the driver was driving, and he stops. And I look and I see this lady looking from the window. I said, what's happening? He says, oh, this is control, they're checking for money. So we opened, they asked who I am. I said, and she asked me how much money I have. I said, so she asked me a few questions. She said, what is in there, what is in there? And I told her. And she was from the finance department, and there were 5 or 6 policemen with machine guns, a cameraman with camera, a policeman with camera to record everything or proof. No problem. They asked me to come out to show them what's in the trunk, in my bags, in my suitcases. So the driver opens the trunk and I said, what is in there? I said, my clothes. In the other, I said, my things, my computer and so on. So this is fine. And we wanted to leave, said, no sir, we have something for you. Because across the street, there was a man selling coconuts. So they asked him to bring coconut for me and for the driver. I said, my God, but you are very kind. I want you all to also have coconut. So they got themselves all coconuts. Me too, we are drinking this water. Other cars were coming. 2 of them would go, finish them up fast and send them off. And to me, they treated me like a prince. They didn't even know who I am. They didn't even ask me if I'm a doctor or what. They asked me where I come from and all that. How come? And then they wanted to pay. I said, no, I'm older than you. And I'm sure I earn more money than you, because I'm a doctor. So I had to insist that they were so touched with my niceness that they were so happy and they wished me all the luck and all that. And I said, yeah, I'm going to Bangalore because I'm a doctor and I'll be giving a lecture. And everybody was looking on the street, they were watching and saying, my God, who is this person? And the driver also said to me, my goodness, he's never seen something like that. What is this? He said, when you are self-confident, when you are centered, automatically everybody opens their arms to you. Nobody wants to hurt you. Because basically human beings are good. It's our problem. So when somebody is mean, try to think that he has his problem. That's why he's like that. And when I'm sweet, he's sweet because he's happy. Okay? So I want you to do something before we close. Again, I want you to just close your eyes. I don't call this meditation. I call this... Yes, question. Yes.
Because you have been standing on the glass. That's the glass.
No, I won't sit on the glass.
The entire crux of the talk is about the visualization. And for the success of the visualization, then it has to be crystallized. And then the whole thing can materialize.
Yes.
Like that.
Yes.
And there is a left brain and right brain.
Right.
The right brain is more powerful because it is connected more to emotional.
Yes.
And from the emotional, we can create the things.
Yes.
And that creation becomes the reality.
Yes.
So all these aspects, theoretically, it is absolutely fine. But now, to crystallize these matters in this present world, present day of all this trouble and all, every day starts with a problem. Every time it has a challenge in front of us. So when we have this kind of life in front of us, and then on the other side to crystallize all these things, it is something very difficult. So how can we do this? How can
this
a
is-
common man, because every person is having his own problem every day, every moment. The people who are sitting here, every moment they have the problems. Tomorrow what will be our life? That is the kind of situation.
I think this is fantastic, this question. And I hope he doesn't get upset. But this just shows how we are conditioned to see everything as a problem and negatively. But honest to God, we tend to see and we are interested more in negative things. Everybody knows about a disaster, an airplane crash. It's announced all over the world. But Mrs. Smith got twins as birds, nobody cares. A new life is born, nobody cares. You get married, only your family knows, not the world. You fall in love, you are all conditioned from the very beginning to look at life negatively, as problems. See, he says, my day begins, so he's already programmed. He's programmed. Just the fact that he mentions it, he's programmed that tomorrow there'll be problems to solve. And if he just took every day, because I'm telling you,
This is the reality.
yeah, the reality, no. This reality is created by our attitudes. Because I told you, not only what you dream comes true, not only what you crystallize or what you visualize comes true, but also your wishes, even if they're wrong. So if you're conditioned, there are problems and problems, but if you wake up in the morning and say, hey, I'll face one thing at a time, then it's not, I can't understand why I should put on my pants before I put on my underwear. I have to go. The same thing. So if you start the day by saying, if you today say already tomorrow morning there will be problems to solve, I know there are problems. Life has problems and challenges. But I see problems as challenges, and why should you be the only person who has problems? How come this nation is progressing? Because there is also this dynamic energy of creation and manifestation. And I think this inner worry of problems, everyday problems, I know that tomorrow you have to pay the bills. I know that a taxman is standing in front of your door and you have to face that. I have to face it also in my life. I said, but when it comes. Like when he said the police will stop, you said, okay, we'll just stop. I didn't say, hey, driver, watch out, they might stop us. No, ask the driver. I was cool about it, and he heard me on the telephone. I said, no problem, they stop me, they stop me. So if problems come, I will solve them. I opened the suitcase today, 30 minutes before I have to leave to come here. And I had not yet had my shower because I was waiting for them to come and fix them. And then I opened my suitcase to take out my suit, and I see that my suit is all crumbled, my jacket and everything, and my pants and everything. I said, oh my God, what is Vishal going to say? I can't wear this. So I called the front desk, and they said, we'll send a person, and in 10 minutes or 15 minutes, it was taken, brought back, everything was done. I took my shower, and I was there before Vishal arrived. Because I said, well, it happens. So I didn't say, what do I do now? I can't go dressed in jeans for giving you a talk. I would, but Vishal wants me to have a blazer. So I said, I put a blazer because I respect you all. But what I'm trying to tell you is that try not to have this feeling that I have problems tomorrow to solve. But if you say, let me live this moment now, there's no problem right now, you're sitting here. The taxman is not there, he's outside, he's waiting. You're inside. Honest, try this. I understand his worries. Because they carry, people who have success carry heavy burden on their shoulder. We don't see the burden, the work he has. We see only that he is the owner of the school and all that. But believe me, everyone, the architect who built this, also had his problems, but he had also his vision and he built it. And he did it the right way. And I want you to take example from the architect, that he even visualizes everything. So there is this criteria, but what you have to do now is to try, honest to God, not to think of your problem, because when thinking is an energy, and thinking of problems is fortifying that particular energy, it's not solving. Problem solving is not worrying about it or thinking about it, but concretely saying, okay, how much do I have to pay?
So theoretically all this is okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not a question of this or this and that. But it is the problem everyone has to face every moment. And the problem every day it is going on from day one to the entire life.
I tell you, if I was he, even before he was born, I would have bought a pistol and blown out my head. That's only so. What he's telling me is what's the sense in life. Every day there are problems. And I'm saying, you are still there.
Learn how to move with the problem, because the problems are inevitable. Problems cannot
Ex-
stop. So we need to know how we have to move, taking all these problems, and then according to what you said is 100% true.
Yes,
100% correct, but that we have to follow. But we can't sideline our problems. The problems is going to be there, and then along with these problems, we have to carry on according to the guidance what we have given, because the guidance what we have given is excellent. That guidance we have to follow, but we can't forget these problems. So keeping along with these problems, how we can follow your guidelines?
the problem is, I disagree with you. I think what is wrong is to keep these problems in your mind and to say I have to solve. You solve them when they come. Honest to God, if you say, I know there are problems, but I'll solve them when I come. I have no guarantee that on Friday my flight of Lufthansa will take me back to Germany. But I don't worry about it because Lufthansa is changing all the time the flights because there are not enough passengers because of the pandemic. But what's the point of my being so tense and saying, my God, for all I know I might not be able to reach home in time? No, I'll wait and see what happens. What I'm asking you is, please wait for the problem to be in front of you to solve it. You can't solve it till it has arrived. So to say, every day there are problems. Yes, but every day you also have to go to the toilet. Every day you walk out to eat. And you're not saying today, my God, tomorrow I've got to go to the toilet. Tomorrow I've got to go to bed. So same thing about work. It is logic. This has nothing to do with neurology or anything. It's a question of attitude and technique, how you face life. Face life when it happens. You know, when you in advance say, I'm going to have problems and I have to solve them, then you're creating, this is energy, this is what I'm trying to explain. All this religion, spirituality, all is attached to energies because it's not something concrete. Shiva doesn't come concretely and give you something. He does it through energy. And so the problems, when you think, you are creating problems of energy. I told you, I created a problem. I see a beautiful girl and I desire her. And I have nothing against desires. But it is not my right desire. I don't want to have anything. I don't want to know a transvestite. You know? It is something that I say that if I think of problems, then I'm fortifying the problems. If I enjoy life, I'm fortifying life. So even my success, I'm not saying, I'm going to become successful. I've already said I want success. I created the dream. It is going to manifest like this table. But then I'm living day to day. Live each life, each day, each moment. But he's wasting his life. He's here, but he's worried about what's going to happen this afternoon or tomorrow morning. And I understand it, because that's a fact of life. This is, as you said, it's a whole nation, it's a whole world. But I've seen that people who have learned, who have understood through what I've taught them, and they are starting to say, my God, yes, my life is very nice. Problems will come, even for me. Police will stop me. Lufthansa will change their flights, even though I'm flying. But I have to adapt myself and enjoy, because otherwise, if I'm worried about flying back today, then I'm not enjoying my lecture and my good meals here. What I'm trying to tell you is adapt a positive attitude. And my advice to you, I do that. And my mother had taught me this. Don't read newspapers. It's all past events, and most of it is negative. In 83 years of life, I've never bought a newspaper. And don't call me an ignorant. I am knowledgeable. I might be ignorant about little things that happen. Who killed whom, who won the politics and all that. For me, that is redundant. So my advice is try to read as little newspaper as possible. If you read something pleasant and nice. And same thing about the television program. If you see, all these American programs are bang, bang, shoot, kill, cars crashing into each other. My God, that's not culture. That's not life. That's not success, that's not happiness. I like to watch beautiful nature. I like to watch romantic movies. Listen to lovely music. It's your attitude. If you say my life is only problems, then you're killing yourself, virtually killing yourself. I can show you in laboratory test that if I take his blood sample now and put it for analysis, and then we sit and do a session where I calm you down, and then you become more calm, you breathe deeply and so on, within 15-20 minutes, we can retake a blood sample and I can show your values are better. And we did this because I'm a man of science, I want proof. And I've done this in laboratories to see how it works. And that's why, otherwise I don't believe in theories. And I'm saying, he can't solve the problem of tomorrow because he doesn't even know precisely what it is. And even if he knows, like if he knows that tomorrow he has to pay $20,000 for taxes, back taxes, and he doesn't have that, what would I advise him to do? I said, nothing. Just don't worry about it. You can't pay because you don't have the money. So say to yourself, when I have the money, I'll pay. And don't ask, now what are they going to do? Are they going to arrest me? They're going to put me in jail? Wait and see. For all you know, before you wake up, somehow, something happens. And it just happened to me all the time. I've never lost one night's sleep worrying about money. And I left home with $5 in my pocket. So don't think that because my father was a multi-millionaire, that I had it easy. I told my papa, you keep your money, I want to study. And I said, so you can do the same with your life. Say, problems are gone, but I'll face them when they come, and that is positive attitude. Then you enjoy the meal with your family, with your wife and your children. Then you enjoy your friends and the company. And you will see how the school will prosper.
I'm enjoying that perfectly all right.
Then eliminate the worries of problems of tomorrow. Believe me, problems you should face only when they come. You can't pay a bill until it has been issued. So I'm worried about the bill. When it says, then I'll pay it. But please, don't destroy yourself worrying about something that's not there. Please, don't do that to yourself. You are a nice man, you have created something, but I know how much sacrifice, because I know you are an Indian, and I'm an Indian, and I know, I'm sure you made a lot of sacrifices. You did not, it just did not come from with the rain, your school, your success and all that. That you people have done your process of suffering and everything. But I want you to learn from that those are past days, you found solutions to your problems. And they will come now that this thing is going on. It has to, and it will. And I certainly will do my part to see that you and everybody here present benefit from this conference. It's also a process of energy, as I said. This is what you ask God, the divine grace. It's an energy. So my good wishes is an energy. And my love for you without knowing you is an energy. I don't have to know you in order to love you. It's just that I feel that I'm grandfather of humanity. All of you are my children. I'm 83. And I want you to really, from today, change this. I want Amit to see to it that your father stops and say, Papa, what comes tomorrow, we'll see tomorrow. I know it's very difficult because it's a heavy pressure, especially when it comes to money and all that, and death, and your responsibility towards teachers and staff. But I'm saying it's coming and it will come. Don't ask me how, and don't ask yourself when and how it will happen. It will happen, and you will look in my eyes and say, yes, you are right. It happens. Everything is fine. It will. You can't let a school go down. So there will be solution. You want me to come back, I'll come back and see that it takes place, that each one of you is strong and happy at home and in your private life. And then, as your employees, there will be happy employees who bring success, who give to the children what they truly need. Knowledge. Any more questions? I understand. Absolutely legal, but this is something I disagree with, and I think it's not good to worry about things that we can't solve. Things which you can't change, don't bother about it. Mrs. Mavina, a lady of 87 years, comes into my office, sits down and starts crying. And I said to Mavina, she's my patient, she's an old lady, I said, in Italy. I said, Mavina, what's the matter, why are you crying? She says, Madhu, we have to do something. I said, do something what? She said, the Chinese are killing Buddhist monks in Tibet. Imagine, the Chinese are killing those poor Buddhist monks in Tibet, and she's crying for them. And I look at her and I really got angry. She's 87, older than me. And I said, Mavina, do you want me to slap you? So she looks at me and says, why? I said, what are you doing? You're crying for something you can't change. And through the fact that you are suffering, you're augmenting, you're increasing suffering on this earth. The Tibetans are suffering, but here in Italy is also suffering because you're crying. And we can't do. She said, I said, there's nothing we can do. There's no power, no political power or national power that can change. So why cry over it? Just become calm and send your love, send your compassion in the world. To the Chinese, to the Tibetans, and to everyone. So what I'm trying to tell him is that your problems that have not yet appeared can't be solved now. So why say, how do I face tomorrow? There are going to be problems. No. You will see there will be less problems and more solutions, or equal amount of solutions at least. Some problems get solved even before. Solutions come before the problems come. So why not? This life is a miracle. And I want you to experience it as a miracle and not as a struggle. Don't suffer. There is no merit in it. Don't sacrifice. I don't believe in sacrifice. Give, share, but don't sacrifice. Sacrifice is something that's not good, because you're giving sacrifices when you give. When you want it, you're suffering and you're willing to suffer, and you give it away to someone. No. Give with open heart, and it's not a sacrifice. You're giving it with joy. So change your sense of good and bad. Change your sense of success and failure. Because you are creating your failure by thinking about it already. I think about it, I thought about it, and it happens. And a lot of these things. So when he said there will be a problem, I didn't think about the problem. When they come, they'll come. I have nothing to worry about. I know that I'm not transporting illegal money. And imagine, they treated us to coconut. Not only water, but also the meat inside was delicious. How come? The driver, ask the driver, he will tell you, yeah, it's something exceptional. But why? It's the attitude. Change, please. And call me anytime you need, it's there. But tell me that you are. I don't need to know you personally. You just say you are one of the persons who came to this lecture. And you have my numbers here. It doesn't cost you on the internet. And my telephone is open 24 hours a day. Both my telephone, for the Italy and for the German and Indian telephone, it's open, so you can call me at this number anytime. So even if I'm in Italy, I am. People call me on this number from Russia, from Dallas, Texas, and even from Siberia. Can you imagine? Honest to God. Somebody called me from Siberia, an engineer, who would call that for his work. So what you have to do is believe in yourself. And in you is your Ganesha, your Shiva, your Brahma, your God. I love you, and I want to finish this by a small 15 seconds, 20, 30 seconds of eyes closed, and this peace that comes through Om Namo Shiva, or Om Namo Shiva, or Om Shanti Shanti. Okay. Close your eyes. Breathe slowly and deeply. Breathing is the basic of life. Man is not even conscious for a second that he is breathing. So now become conscious that you're breathing, and it's deep breath. And you are in the most precious place on earth. You are within yourself. Yes, my child, you are the center of your universe. And you have omnipotent powers over yourself and your universe. Yours is this life. You have to live it. Become the center of yourself and your universe. Be master of yourself, not over others, yourself. And fulfill every single wish and desire, no matter what, to its fullest. I give to you all my love and all the energy that comes from my soul. Be blessed by God. Namaste.
Chairman and Trustee Shri Pramod Kamat to give a small token of appreciation to Dr. Madhusudan Patel sir. Please come on stage.
It embarrasses me because I feel as grandfather of this world, I want to give. I want to dedicate my life. I have dedicated my life. I have everything. I realize everything I wanted. All my wishes have come true. And now I want your wishes to come true. And I want to beg you to use people who can help you. And I can help you, so use me that I don't feel ashamed. I will always write and I will always ask. Thank you so much. I'm embarrassed. I'm supposed to give and I'm receiving. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
I promise that I will not eat all of this all at one time.
So I guess we all learned a lot. It was quite inspiring as well as something new, something that we didn't know was so simple, was right there in us, but still we were ignorant about it. And more so, we need to thank Dr. Madhusudan Patel sir because it's in the midst of this raging pandemic. He is 83 years young and still he makes it all the way from Germany, taking all the risk for these 2 hours. I mean, that's something incredible. Thank you so much, sir.
I made sure I get my vaccination before, and I'm vaccinated, so I'm immune. But I wear a mask because it's extra precaution to protect my patients. I think the vaccination was protecting my patients when they come to me. But I still wear a mask when I'm near you. Thank you. Life is so beautiful. I'm the happiest man, and I wish this earth, this humanity, this same happiness. Please be happy. It's the real thing in life. And if you're happy, automatically your problems will dissolve. Automatically. This is not a fantasy. I've lived it, I've seen it with people. Please believe in yourself. Believe not in me, not in God, in yourself, because in you is God. Thank you so much and God bless you. Go enjoy life, have fun. Don't worry about the pandemic. Take precautions and everything will be fine.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you everyone for coming.